Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08 and welcome to the 26th episode of my Rails of Industry Minecraft series. In today's episode, I am going to make ethanol out of the ingredients that I'm getting from my tree farm that I built in the last episode. So let's get started. The first thing that I need to do is I need to look up exactly how to make ethanol. I actually know how to do this, but just for your sake, I need to look it up. I'm going to be making the forestry variant. There is a couple of other variants apparently. I knew about the immersive engineering variant, but I did not know about the NuclearCraft variant. Looks like that is not clickable. But the variant I am going to be making today is the forestry version. So there are a few different ways to make this. The first one is using a still from the mod forestry, or we can use a fractioning still from the mod thermal expansion. I am going to be using the fractioning still because I will be able to speed these up versus the forestry stills. These are rather slow, I do know that, but I know the fractioning stills I will be able to speed up if they are running too slow for my taste, so that's what I'm going to do. So to make these, I will need apparently some Constantin. I'm going to need quite a bit of this apparently. So let's take a look at what the recipe for this is. It is nickel and copper, so that should be pretty easy to make. So let's grab a bunch of nickel and a bunch of copper, and I can make this stuff pretty quickly, to be honest. So let's just grab equal amounts of both of those. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my induction smelters. And I should be able to do a recipe like this. Apparently, I was making bronze earlier and apparently I didn't get something quite right. But what I should be able to do now is just stuff the rest of the copper and the nickel in here. And we should get lots and lots of Constantin. So that is cool. So now we can look at the recipe for the fractioning still, and let's go ahead and I don't think I have nickel gears. Let me double check that I don't have those automated already. I don't, so that's good. And then the Constantin gears, which are like this. So actually, let's grab one of those. Let's grab one of the nickel gears because that will allow me to actually automate this right now. So that's cool. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to need. For right now, I think I'm going to order up, let's say 60 of them. I think that'll be overkill, but that'll be okay. So let me wait just another second, and we should have the Constantin that we need now. So that's cool. So that is that's actually the last step. I'm kind of going in reverse here, how I need to actually make this. But let's go back. Let's look at the ethanol. Okay, so what we need is the fractioning still will take biomass and turn it into ethanol. So how do we get biomass? Let's click on that and let's take a look. There is pretty much only one way here. And I believe that there's only one way here. Let me double check that there isn't a way with the fluid transposer. There is not. It's just the recipes here are just removing the biomass from other containers that can contain biomass. But to actually make biomass, we need a squeezer, and we will need three different things. We will need, we can use fruit juice, which is will be the first step that we're doing, and the last step that I'm going to be showing you here. But we'll need fruit juice. I have a way to get that. Mulch will also come from the same process that gives us fruit juice. And then we need the saplings. So we will have everything that we need here. We just need these fermenters. So let's take a look at how to make these. We need bronze gears, glass, and sturdy casings. I think I have sturdy casings already automated. It's just 8 bronze in a square, and that is how we make fermenters. Now the fermenters are rather slow, so I'm going to order up a few more of these than I did the fractioning stills. I'm going to order up 120 of these. I'm not sure if I'm going to need all of those or not, but I will have them regardless. So the last step here is I need fruit juice. And to get fruit juice, there are a few different ways here. We can use a squeezer or we can use a fluid transposer. And I'm going to be using the fluid transposer because once again, I will be able to speed this up if I want to because it is a thermal expansion machine. And we can use apples, which is why I had my silver lime tree grow apples. And let me see if I can't find the apples. I probably went right past it. It's right here. So by squeezing apples in a fluid transposer here, we will get some fruit juice and we will get some mulch. So that is where I'm getting the fruit juice and the mulch for the recipe to actually make the biomass that requires fruit juice, mulch, and saplings. So let's make some fluid transposers. I already have these automated from earlier, so actually probably from many episodes ago. But let's get those. Let's grab the machines that I already have made. Okay, those are not done yet. So are the stills done? They are. Are the fermenters done? They're almost done. And let's see, are the fluid transposers done? They're not done yet either. So there are a few more things I'm going to need. First off, I'm going to grab item conduit rather than item duct. And this is because item conduit gives me a better throughput than item duct. Item duct has an issue to where if you're trying to put a lot of items through it, it can't actually handle the bandwidth or the throughput. So by using item conduit, I should be able to get around this problem. Item conduit can handle a lot more items flowing through it. So let me take a look if I can't find the recipe here. It's just conduit binder, which comes from smelting conduit binder composite, and that's just gravel, clay, and sand. And the pulsating iron nuggets here come from pulsating iron, which comes from iron ingots and ender pearls. So that is how we make item conduit, and I actually have plenty of this already made up. I might go ahead and make a little bit more just because it's pretty cheap, and I know I'm going to need quite a bit of this stuff, so why not get a bunch of it while we're here. Okay, so let's see if the rest of my machines are done. I think they should be. So there we go. I kind of think that I'm going to grab some conversion kits as well. I'm not sure if I can make 120 of these or 118. It looks like I can. Okay, so the hardened glass isn't a problem. Heck, I have a lot of this stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that started. Let's see here. And then I would also like to get some better fluid transport while we're here. And the ender fluid conduit is, I think, what I'm going to go for. So let's see if I have what I need for that. The ender fluid conduit can be made in a couple different ways. I'm going to be using this recipe. It's just the conduit binder again with vibrant alloy and fused quartz. So let's take a look at that. I'm not sure how much vibrant alloy I have, and I probably don't have a whole lot of this. So I'm going to need to be a little bit cautious on how much of this I make. I think I should have plenty of fused quartz though. Yeah. Okay, so the ender fluid yeah. I will have a lot of fluid that I will be moving around. Let's see if I can make 200. Okay, yeah, that should be enough. If it's not enough, I will be kind of disappointed. So there we go with the conduit, the fluid conduit anyways. Let's see if the conversion kits are done. They are not. They are still going. So let's grab some flux duct as well because I will need some energy here. So let's grab more than that. Might as well grab a lot of this stuff because I have a lot of it laying around. And then lastly, I think I'm going to grab some augments to speed up my machines. And these are the auxiliary reception coils. I'm not sure if I've made them on camera in this series yet or not, so let's take a look at the recipe if I can find it. The auxiliary reception coil is really easy to make. It is gold surrounding redstone reception coil, which is gold and redstone. So they're pretty easy to make. I'm going to grab a bunch of these guys. Let's make up to 100. And I'm not going to actually be able to carry all of them because I need some more conversion kits, but I will carry all that I can. Whoops. Okay, so all of this stuff I'm going to be hauling over to my energy generation area where I have my tree farm, because that's where I will be setting up this ethanol refinery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run on over there, and once I am there with all of my stuff, I will be right back. So I've made it over to my tree farm area, and it looks like the tree farm is still going pretty strong. If we duck down into the basement here, we'll see that I have lots of apples at this point. I have 16 million. 900,000 something. I have a bunch of logs, probably not a whole lot more than I had before, and lots of saplings as well. There are a few things that I picked up off camera that I have brought over here that I didn't mention earlier. I brought a black hole unit, I brought 3 black hole tanks, and 60 extract speed upgrades. Now for the speed upgrades, let me see if I can't find these because I haven't used these yet. It's electrical steel, iron ingots, piston, and redstone torch. And these allow me to up the amount of items that the item conduit will be allowed to pull out of the black hole units up here so that I can move items a little bit quicker. So now that we got that all out of the way, let's start by making some fruit juice. I think that's going to be the first step here. So I will need to get the apples from right here into the fluid transposers. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put the fluid transposers over here. And actually, you know what? Let's do it a couple rows off the wall. And I honestly think 1 row of them will be enough. So let's go ahead and just set up 1 row. If this isn't enough and I need more fruit juice, then I can do something about that in the future. But I think I'll be good. So actually, let's remove a few of these so that I have a little room to move down here. Unfortunately, these are not stacking right now. That is okay. So how I want to set these up, let's see. I should have brought a red print with me, but I didn't. So let's say the apples can come in from the right, and then the let's say the mulch can go to the top, and let's say the fluid output can go to the left. Let's try that. Since I don't have red prints with me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure the rest of the fluid transposers to be like this, and I can do that off camera. And once I have that done, I will be right back. I now have all of the fluid transposers all ready to go, except for the fact that they need some power. So let's get to work on that. So if we go up, we notice that there is a street out here. There might be conduit under here, there might not be. There's not under all of it. So what we can do is we can extend this energy conduit all the way down, because I'm going to need the energy here to power these machines. So let's just run this down here, and there we go. So now we will have an easy access point for the energy. So I think what I'm going to do is let's drop down here, and then let's see, where would be a good point to poke this through? So let's do it right here, and then actually let's set this to 1 by 1, and I will get some covers at some point to clean this up and make this look nice. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this all the way down underneath the ground here, and actually let's change this to 1 by 2. Oh, whoops. Figured I'd do that. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the conduit under here so that we can get power to all of these machines. So that should be a pretty easy, simple way to make it look good and both functional. So then we can drop that down, and then we can just kind of have a... Okay, so we're still not getting... Oh, duh. Maybe if I would complete the circuit, would get power. So that is cool. Let's go ahead and upgrade these while I am thinking about that. By doing this, they will speed up a little bit and they will use a little bit more power, but that is perfectly okay. So the last thing that the fluid transposers actually need, they need apples. So let's go ahead and set that up. I need the apples to come into the blue side here, so I need to put down item conduit right here, and I need to have it be insert. And what we're going to do is actually we are going to change this to be insert on the brown channel, and then right here where I have my apples, I am going to tell this to extract on the brown channel, and we will just simply drop this down like so. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to add some speed upgrades to this right here. Actually, they go right there. And the maximum amount of speed upgrades you can add are 15. Each speed upgrade allows the item conduit to pull 4 more items at a time. The base amount of items that the item conduit will pull out at a single time is 4 items. So if you use 1 speed upgrade, it'll pull out 8 items. If you use 2 speed upgrades, it'll be 12 items, so on and so forth. By having 15 speed upgrades in here, it will pull out a full stack at a time. So if we come down here, we should see a full stack of apples, and that is perfect. We are also seeing some fruit juice, which is fantastic. So what I need to do now, and this is also going to take a little while, is I need to set up all of the item or the item conduit right here to be insert on the brown channel. And I need to do that for all of these fluid transposers. That's going to take a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. And once I have that done, I will be right back. So all of my item conduit is all set up and the fluid transposers are going. They are creating lots of fruit juice and mulch. So I need to do something with all of that fruit juice and mulch. So let's figure out what we need to do. So the left side is the output for the liquid here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some liquid or some fluid ender fluid conduit rather. And we're going to place this down right here. And then somewhere I need to place... I think what I'm going to do is, you know what, let's do it down here. I'm not sure if this is actually going to be the best place to do this, but I'm going to stick this black hole tank right here. And actually, it looks like that's auto outputting the fruit juice, which is actually cool because that means I don't need to configure all of this stupid conduit. And then we need to do something with the mulch as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my black hole unit. I'm going to place it right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some item conduit right here. And I'm going to run it up here. But what I want to do is I want to disconnect that so that this is its own line. So let's see. That is not auto outputting, which is kind of sad, but that is kind of what I expected, to be honest. So what I need to do is I need to run this item conduit all the way down on top here. And wow, those things are kind of loud up close. So I need to configure this all again. So I need this to be insert, and then all of these need to be extract always on. And actually this won't take but just a few seconds to get all of these all set up. And hopefully we'll see no more mulch stockpiling in the fluid transposers. Let's see, so that is cool. We got all of our mulch over here. We have all of our fruit juice coming in here, it looks like. So that is nice to know. So the next step in this process is we need to get the fruit juice, we need to get the mulch and saplings over to fermenters. So let's see here. I think let's do the fermenters a couple of spaces over. And let's actually, I'm probably gonna need maybe a little bit more space for my fermenters. And one thing I should mention, the fermenters are rather slow, so I'm gonna set up a bunch of these things. I'm gonna go ahead and set up 4 rows of these guys. And hopefully that will be enough to keep up. I'm not sure if it will or not, but we'll try. So actually, let's keep these torches down for a second. We're a little bit worried about mobs. So, okay, so let's get the fruit juice going. And we can do fruit juice in through here, I think. And then also in here. And actually, I'm probably going to need to configure all of this fluid duct, or not fluid duct, but ender fluid conduit as well. Let's see here. So let's take this, let's run this just straight up. Let's run it over, and then we can run it down to where we will need it. And what I want to do here is let's set this up to extract always on, and let's give it some speed upgrades. I'm not sure if that's going to be necessary or not, especially since these fermenters are slow like I mentioned. And okay, so it looks like we're getting fruit juice over here, so that is what I want to see. This tank is empty, so that is something that I should note. The next step is let's get the mulch over there as well. So let's set up item conduit right here. And the cool thing about this conduit is it can actually be in the same block space as the other types of conduit from the mod Ender.io. So this is a rather cool feature and really going to be super helpful for me, because this will allow me to set up item conduit and fluid conduit in the same block spaces, thus saving me a lot of space and some logistic concerns as well. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to set up this to be extract always on, and I need to set up the item conduits to be, and I need to make sure it's item conduits here to be insert always on as well. So we should see some mulch start to come into this particular fermenter, which is what we are seeing. Another thing is I will need saplings as well. So let's go ahead and do something like this real quick, where I actually disconnect this, and then I can have the saplings also on the green channel. So let's see here. If I set this to be extract always on, we should see saplings start to flow over here as well. And then this fermenter should start, except for the fact it doesn't have power. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to go along and configure all of the item conduit going into the fermenters to be extract, or insert. And I need to do that for all of them, and that's going to take a little while. As well as for the fluid conduit, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to be insert as well, because I'm going to need to add more fluid conduit on the other sides of the fermenters to actually get the biomass out. So I'm going to do all of this conduit configuring off camera, because it's going to take quite a while, and once I have all of it done, I will be right back. So all of the item conduit and ender fluid conduit is all set up for the fermenters. I also went ahead and ran the energy conduit underneath. So I actually totally forgot that the fermenters run fairly quickly. It's the stills that run extremely slowly. So some of the fermenters are already completely full of biomass, even though they've only been connected for about a minute or so to energy. So let's get the biomass out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, let's see how much fluid conduit I have. You know what, I'm going to go with my original plan here, and I'm going to pull it out of the sides. So let's run this. And what I want to do is also run it here. And we need to get rid of, I'm going to need to place down some more torches, I think. Let's go ahead and place torches on top right here. That should take care of all the main stuff that might try to spawn. And then we also need to run some fluid conduit here. And let's go ahead and set up the black hole tank for all of this. And where would be a good place for this? Let's actually say right in the middle of what we have. So let's try right here. I think that'll be a good place for this. I actually need to go ahead and do some more configuring of my ender fluid conduit here. I need to configure that to be insert, but I need to configure the rest of these to be extract and always on. So we're seeing some biomass already flowing into here from this single fluid or single fermenter that is connected. So what I need to do is I need to set up the rest of this fluid conduit to be extract always on, and that's going to take a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera again. Once I have that done, I will be right back. So I realized I didn't quite do everything that I needed to do here as far as connecting up all of my interfluid conduit. So let's go ahead and connect up the rest of these, because I only actually have this row connected up to this black hole tank. I need to connect up this line of interfluid conduit and this line as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run it over here near the wall. It's not going to be on the wall because of torches and things, but it's going to be right here, and then we can just drop it down right here. I think will work. And then I need to connect up this line as well. So we should start seeing a lot of biomass flow into here. So we have a lot of this stuff. So let's take a look at the final recipe, which is converting biomass to ethanol. And the conversion rate is actually not quite 1-to-1. It is 10 or 100 millibuckets of biomass equals 30 millibuckets of ethanol. You actually lose quite a bit, but that's okay because we are pumping out the biomass like crazy already. The thing is, when I bred up my saplings, one of the traits that you breed for is called sappiness. The higher the sappiness, the more biomass you make when you run it in a fermenter. So these silver lime saplings are each creating a lot of biomass. So that is pretty fantastic for me right now. So the last step here is I need to set up my fractioning stills, and I want them to be, let's say, I want my conduit to be here. So let's put the fractioning stills right here in a line, and hopefully they're going to be quick enough to keep up. I don't know that they will be right off the bat, but I can certainly do a few things to speed them up if they are not going to be quite as fast as I want. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is over here will be the insert line. So this will be a fairly easy run to make, and what I can do is I can run the conduit from right here. I can set this to be extract always on with some speed upgrades. So what I need to do with the fractioning stills is I need to set them up to be insert from the right, and I need to have them be extract to the left. I don't think that this recipe will produce any solids, so that is going to make things just a little bit easier here. So I just need to blue on the right and orange on the left. So what I need to do is I actually need to do this for all of these fractioning stills, and I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. And once I have all of the fractioning stills set up and powered, because I might as well go ahead and run the energy conduit as well, I will be right back. So I have my fractioning stills all configured and energized. I also decided to set up some interfluid conduit that will pull the ethanol out of the fractioning stills. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use these auxiliary reception coil augments that I brought with me to speed up these fractioning stills. The stock fractioning still with a resonant conversion kit applied will use 60 RF per tick, but if we go ahead and use these auxiliary reception coils, it will use 300 RF per tick, but it will make ethanol at a much faster rate. So let's go ahead and apply these augments to the rest of the fractioning stills so that we can get more of this sweet ethanol. And after I do this, I am just about done. I just need to store all of the ethanol in a black hole tank. So that should actually be rather easy to do. Let's see here. I want to store it in the middle because I will be using it upstairs, hopefully. So let's go ahead and set up the black hole tank to be right here. Like I said, I already configured all of this interfluid conduit right here to pull out the ethanol. So all I need to do is connect that up to this black hole tank. So let's just run the conduit over and then up. Am I over? I think I am. So there we go. If I set this to be insert, we should start seeing some ethanol flow into here, which is fantastic. So I already have 53 buckets, 54 buckets, so on and so forth. I'm going to be making quite a bit of ethanol fairly quickly. I will probably be burning it almost as quickly when I get to that, but right now I'm pretty happy with the build today. So in today's episode, I set up this ethanol refinery. Currently, a lot of the machines aren't running because they don't have mulch or they don't have sapling. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have saplings. Got lots of saplings. Maybe I need speed upgrades. Maybe that'll solve it. Yeah, maybe that was the deal there. Not quite sure, but anyways, I know I'm probably starving out. I'm probably starving for mulch. But that's okay. I'm still I have a lot of biomass. I'm gonna have a lot of extra biomass. I am making lots of ethanol. I already have 87 buckets, 88 buckets. Yeah, so I am very happy with this build. So anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode in which I made this awesome ethanol refinery, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automations in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.